Hey guys, this is Jim, WT1W, and you're watching FEPLabs Radio. Thanks for stopping by, I appreciate it. So today, I want to do another video on the HF-10 antenna from Radioddity. My last video was on this, and we looked at it and did some setup and played with it on 20 meters. But today I want to put it on 80. Several of the ham tubers have done reviews on this antenna, and Michael, KB9VBR, mentioned that he had issues with it on 80 meters. So I specifically want to test it on 80. According to the Radioddity manual, I believe you have to deploy the whip to exactly 228 centimeters and no radials. So what we're doing is not what's in the manual. I've got the whip completely deployed all the way up. We are on the 80-meter coil right here. So that is the same, obviously. And I have no radials connected. So what I'm going to do is sweep this with RigExpert. Let's see what it looks like on 80. With no radials and the whip fully extended, and then let's mess with moving it and adding radials and see if that changes the way it looks on RigExpert. Okay, here is the official factory setup. This is 228 centimeter extension, no radials, and you can see here on the left side that we are above 3.6 to 1 at the beginning of the 80-meter band, and then it just goes full stupid a little after 3.6 megahertz. So the SWR is not great when it starts, and it gets worse before we're even halfway through the band. All right, let's try our next test. Okay, here is official book settings on the antenna with radials. And you can see on the left, the purple line there, it already looks way, way better than the no radial setting. So I honestly, I'm kind of wondering if there's a typo in that book or something. But let's move on. I'm going to start shortening the antenna by 4 or 5 inches for the next few tests. All right, here's our next run. And again, I'm not really measuring this. This is just kind of the distance between my thumb and my pinky finger. And you can see now we've moved that dip below 2 to 1 into the 80-meter band, slightly above 3.5 megahertz. And that is usable. Now, is this the most efficient antenna in the world? Maybe, maybe not, but that SWR makes this look usable. Let's do some more testing. Okay, once again, about the same thing, 4 to 5 inch movement downward. I'm not measuring the antenna length on each of these moves. I'm just dropping the antenna down and replotting it here on the RigExpert analyzer. And you can see we've now moved our dip is still below 2 to 1, 1.5 or so. Slightly above 3.6 megahertz. So we're moving into the voice portion of the band, I think, at this point. But well tunable with the onboard tuner in most radios right there. All right. One more test toward the middle of the band. Looking great. Less than 1.5 to 1. Last sweep here. And you can see, again, it's moving up the band another 4 or 5 inches down. I'm sure there's a point of diminishing returns, but with a little fiddling, we can get this thing to tune on 80. Not bad. All right, so there's some testing. 80 meters looks usable, at least from an SWR standpoint. Now, I would say that the radials add value to this. I can't see that you'd want to keep the radials off of the antenna. I think it actually looks a lot better with the radials on. So I would say deploy it with radials if you're going to do 80 meters. And maybe don't extend it quite as far as the manual says. Maybe that's a typo in the manual, because I'm certainly seeing better results on the SWR dip by lowering that whip antenna part of this setup down. So guys, that is going to be all I have for today. If you would, make sure you give me a thumbs up, share this with your friends, and make sure and ring the bell. All that stuff's in the doodly-doo below, so you get notified whenever I post any new videos. 73, y'all have a good one.